Shalom, I'm the brother Quatazap Sayan, coming back through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Yahushai with another lesson. But before I go on, I want to say Kal Halal Yam, Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham Rekah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us His truth and who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the Akim that is spread around the four corners of the earth, spreading this word in sincerity and in truth. Khan Shalom to the elect of Israel. Khan Akim. So this is a video that I came across. It was posted yesterday. Let me see, the 20th of March, 2020. Here they're talking about the corona outbreak in Florida. This is a meeting, and watch what happens. Come on, bear with me for a second, because my internet is messing up.
There's always things that pop up that we can do better on, and I call the question.
I'm sorry, that's not how this works. We each have an opportunity to speak 5 minutes.
I thought we did.
Yeah, the question's been
I'm
called.
I'm sorry.
We've been
City
That's
Attorney.
not how calling the question works. You need a second and you need to vote on
Then
it.
I have a second for calling
So
the
are you
question.
telling me that you're going to keep me from talking right now?
You've talked all evening.
Look here. You're calling me disrespectful because I've interrupted people, but this gentleman has turned off people's lights in the middle of a global health pandemic. That's what that gentleman did.
Point of order.
And you think I'm disrespectful for interrupting?
Point of order.
This gentleman has
Point
had the
of
ability to do
order.
any number of things.
Point
We
of
could have
order.
banned large gatherings. We could have closed the beach. We could have put a moratorium on
I recessed the
utility
meeting.
shutoffs.
I recessed the
Also not within your power, and the
recessed the
attorney has
meeting.
held that that's true.
I recessed the meeting.
You came up with new rules at the beginning of the meeting, and then you didn't even want to follow the rules that you came up with.
And you took advantage
This is a banana republic is what you're turning this place into with your so-called leadership.
Does a recess mean that we will be?
Yes.
Camera on that?
I don't care
got
anything
a
about
camera
this.
on that?
I don't care anything about this.
Does
We
it-
should have been talking about this last week.
Can
We
we?
cut off people's utilities this week and made them pay what could have been their last check to us to turn their lights on in a global health pandemic. But you don't care about that and you didn't want to meet. But every other year you go around and beg people for their votes.
Hey.
Can we explain
But
the
you care more
recess?
about your relationship with that guy than you care about the relationship with the people who don't go to work in
Point
this
of
building.
order. You were done. You're done. You're done. Disrespect.
It's disrespectful is what you've done to the working people in this city.
I didn't do anything.
You failed to act.
I didn't do anything.
When you're a leader, you failed to act. You said you didn't do anything. You failed to act when you had an opportunity.
Party for State House.
I don't care anything about that. Do you think anybody cares?
Does a recess mean that we can reconvene tonight, or? Okay.
Gone. Yeah, so that's what's happening, man. That's what happens when you go into somebody else, their system, and try to be a partaker of that, while in the meanwhile, while you're supposed to be a slave in their system, you know? They're not gonna listen to your political advice. They don't want to hear anything of your political views, you know? You're just there to make them look good. You know, you have all these Edomites sitting there, and then they just put one so-called black guy, you know, to even it out. But yeah, man, you're not put there to be listened to, actually, because that woman just shut him down. She's like, yeah, no, I recessed the meeting, and then he's like, yeah, but that's not your right. You know, you can't even do that. You see, these people are just coming up with rules, and then they're breaking their own rules. You know, never trust thine enemy. But yeah, let me jump into the scriptures. I'm gonna go to the book of Sirach, 29. And me see. Let me hit this one real quick. This is Sirach 29 and 25. Thou shalt entertain and feast and have no thanks. Moreover, thou shalt hear bitter words. Gone. So the reason that you're even there is to entertain the situation. You're there to give no thanks. You're just there as a puppet. And when you think you're doing something great, something good for the society, then you're gonna hear bitter words like what you just heard. We shut down the meeting before we come to you, before we hear what you say. We just cancel everything. So those are some bitter words. But this is all the curses of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, where we have to deal with these situations, because we have forsaken Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, and he has forsaken us. And that's why we are in another man's house right now, and you can't be boasting in somebody else's system. Let me start at 22 for the full understanding. Yes, Sirach 29 and 22. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house. Gone. So it's better to be poor in your own house, which is not even a big house, a great house, but it's just a small, humble cottage, than delicate fare in another man's house. So it's better to be in your own house, which is kind of, hanging and not on a, not looking so good. It's better to have that than to be in another man's mansion and, you're going to be his slave. You're going to be his footstool. You're going to be doing whatever the hell he tells you to do if you want to live in his house and his mansion in one of his rooms. And that's what the situation we're in right now. We're living in Esau's society. Be it little or much, hold thee content, that thou hear not the reproach of thy house. So if it is little or if it is much, you should be happy with what you have, For it is a miserable life to go from house to house, for where thou art a stranger, thou darest not open thy mouth. Exactly. Because we, as Israel, we went from captivity to captivity, the Babylonian captivity, Assyrian captivity, Roman captivity. And it's a shame to be a stranger, because they don't want to hear anything you have to say, because you're living in their house, you're living in their system, under their rules, under their roof. You understand? They don't want to hear any political views from you. They don't want to hear your advice. Thou shalt entertain and feast and have no thanks. Moreover, thou shalt hear bitter words. Yeah, the bitter words are like, the cuss words also that they use. Spick, nigger, black, They're just going to put your views aside. Verse 26. Come, thou stranger, and furnish a table and feed me of that thou hast ready. Gone. No, but actually the point was in 25. You see? Let me jump to Jeremiah. Jeremiah 2 and 14. This is Jeremiah 2 and 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Gone. So this is what people think, why are we constantly being hated upon? Why are we constantly in the bottom of the food chain? It's because we did not obey Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You understand? And that's what we have to realize, and turn our backs to the society, turn our backs to this house, turn our backs to this captivity, and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. You understand? You have to, as the book of Jeremiah says, Jeremiah 6 and 16. Thus said Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, stand ye in the ways, and see, and ask for the old paths, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. Gone. Because this is not a rest, man. You see how agitated this guy became? He became angry because he couldn't voice his opinion. But this is not our house. This is not our rest. This system is not meant to uplift us, to uphold us. This system is meant to break us down. And even if they make new rules, they're just going to break their own rules just to keep us down. You know? So with that, I hope this video was edifying. And I want to say Kal Halalyam, Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'asham Reka Kudash. Shalom Akim.